So today we're going to go through a workout that's going to be perfect for you if you are just getting into your strength training, nice gentle introduction, or we can build that up, ramp each exercise up for someone that has been exercising and more used to their strength training already. So for the workout today, not much equipment needed. What we would love if you could have is a set of dumbbells or weights to use, and then potentially a mat for when we're down on the floor, just for that comfort, and then a bench, table, chair, something we are comfortable having a hand on and leaning against through. So we will start shortly. If you want to get that kit ready, we'll get ourselves going. Just to let you know, commenting it is on. We will get back to those comments after the video is finished today. So when you're ready, we're going to start down on the floor. We're going to begin our workout with a warm-up. The point of our warm-up is to get the body ready, get the muscles working, relax, and get that temperature and heart rate up. So bring yourselves down onto your mat. We're going to go kneeling and with our hands down. So we're in our neutral tabletop position. We're going to start off with our cat-cow today. It's a movement you might know if you've done kind of yoga or Pilates before. We're looking at warming the spine up and getting some nice gentle movements through. So starting off, we're looking to push the bum out behind, drop the belly to the floor, and bring the chin up in front. So this is our cow position. Moving through, we're going to rotate through the pelvis, so tucking those hips under. Then you're going to pull in belly button through to the spine, up to the ceiling, and the chin comes to the chest into our cat pose. I'm going to work through these for about 8 reps in each position. Don't worry if you don't quite get to that 8. Some people might want to stay in one position a bit longer than the other. If you really feel something's a little bit tight, stay there. Nice deep breath through. Otherwise, just keep yourself gently moving as we go. Looking as you warm up to increase that distance you can push and you can move through the spine, vertebrae at a time. Good, and then just coming back to neutral once you've done those reps. Our next movement, we're going to stay down on the floor for one more. We're going to move into our bird dog. So our bird dog is great for warming up that core as well. We're looking at that brace, holding nice and steady. Gets your coordination going as well. So we're coming back to that neutral tabletop position we started in. One arm, one leg going to work to start with, and we'll keep swapping over. So we're going to stretch out, pushing out with the heel, with the fist as we come into a lovely long line and back through. As I said, we want that core engaged. We push through, thinking of tightening those stomach muscles as we drive. We're constantly alternating, and again, we're looking for about 8 on each side. As we push that foot out, we're not looking for that leg to come high. So I'm not coming up through here. I'm not rotating my pelvis round, looking to say for that push through, heel to the wall behind you as you go. And again, take your time, nice deep breaths. Nice and steady through. Again, don't worry if you're going a little bit slower. Just trying to really focus on that balance, on core being engaged and getting that distance through that lovely long stretch. Good work. That last one, coming steady down. Nicely done. We're going to then come back up onto our feet. So you can move your mat away. You can stay around it, wherever you feel most comfortable, but we're coming for a hamstring sweep next. It's going to be a lovely long stretch down the back of the leg and into the calf. So for this one, we're going to stay up, standing tall to start, bring our body weight onto one leg, little bend through that knee and the other foot out in front onto the heel. We don't want to be too far away. So we're keeping that weight back, that heel just in front of the toe. And we're going to bring the toes up as you reach your arms down to sweep past, through and up. Bring those arms up as high as you're comfortable. Round the sides, we step in and swap onto that other leg. So again, body weight is on the back foot. Heel on the floor of the front as you reach down. Again, this is a stretch, so take your time. We don't want to rush through. Pulling down as those toes come up as high as you can. And hope to say, feeling that stretch down the back of the leg, deep into the calf. Again, we're aiming for about 8 on each side. Good. So just keeping that reach through. You might feel this loosening off as you go. So each one, you might be able to reach that a little bit deeper. Or as I say, pulling those toes up higher to the ceiling through each rep. Good work. Nicely done. So we're going to come into a movement called a squat to reach next. So we're looking at warming up some of those big muscle groups. So our quads, our glutes. Getting those hamstrings. With that reach, we're bringing some movement through those shoulders and arms as well. So if you bring yourself to standing about shoulder width apart with the feet, we want our toes slightly turned out. So as we come down in our squat, we've got nice travel with the knees out over the toes. So that's where we're going to start. We're going to push those knees out, drop down a squat, so knees are forward, bum is coming straight down. Then those arms will come overhead as we reach and stretch up. Bring the arms back down as we go. So again, we're going to do about 8 of these. So from the side, so back nice and strong, feet shoulder width apart, toes out. We come down in that squat. We bring hands overhead. We drive up. Release the arms, ready for that next squat down. Arms up, stand tall. So knees out over toes, bum down and through. So go as low as is comfortable for you and as works in your squat. That will look different for everybody. And that will improve with time. Good, let's do one more of these. Nice. So you start to feel warm now. We're going to increase that heart rate, increase that temperature a little bit further before we move on to our first strength movement. So we're going to go for our skaters. So our skaters, a bit of a jump or stepped movement. We're looking for lateral movement, so we're going side to side. Start from one side of your space. And we're going to take that step or that jump over onto the other leg. That inside leg can then tap down, or you can keep it steady on one if you have that balance today. And so we can take that as a step and tap. We can take that as a jump. Depends how confident you are feeling and what the knees are doing today. Again, we're going for about 30 seconds here and take that at that tempo that works for you. Looking at getting your heart rate up, getting warmer and warmer as we go. Nicely done. As you pick up speed, you can bring those arms in as well. So stepping over, have that swing through. Good, let's hold it there. Give the body a little shake. Hopefully you're feeling nice and warm. So we're going to move on to our first strength movement today. As I said, not much equipment needed. Hopefully you've got that set of dumbbells or something to use as weight. That could be a can from your cupboard, water bottle if you're working out at home as well. We're going to start off today with our Romanian deadlift. This is a hip hinge movement. We're looking for that work coming primarily from our glutes, from our hamstrings, so it's that posterior chain. We'll get a little bit of strengthening in our lower back as well. So with your weights, be great if you could have one in either hand. We're going to hold them in front of the body. So they're sitting just on the top of the thigh. As we go, we are feet shoulder width apart again, toes pointing forward. So they're basically all in the same way. And we start to sit up nice and tall. We're going to put a little bit of softness in the knees. And then we're looking at our hinge. So we're pushing our bum out and away as those weights drift down. As you can see, keeping back nice and straight as I go. So we're trying to avoid that hair coming up in a curve through. So we still want that lovely straight back we had from our warm-up. So weight tight on the body, pushing the bum back. So we're thinking bum back and out away. Weights come down anywhere from the knee to the mid-shin. And strong squeeze coming back up. Good. And squeeze the glutes to drive you back tall again. Again, pushing back and away. And squeeze up. Let's go 2 more. Pushing back. Squeeze and stand tall. And one last one. All the way down. Big final squeeze to come up to standing. Good. So that's our RDL. Hopefully, as you're going through, we're getting that feeling in the glutes. So think your bum cheeks as you go. As we're at the bottom of that stretch through the hamstrings as well. Our next movement today is going to be a row. This is where your table, your bench, that secure object comes in for you. So we just need one of our weights this time. And we're going to go for a single arm row. We will obviously use both arms as we go, but just working one at a time. So coming over to your object you're leaning against, I've got a bench here today. So I'm going to have one hand on the bench. The leg from that same hand is going to be stood in. The other leg, which is going to be our working arm, we're going to take a step back. We don't need to go too far. We're looking, it's kind of like a nice big step back. That hand on the bench, we're going to put some pressure through, and we're going to find that same lovely flat back. So we'll start with that hinge movement. So pushing the bum back. You can see how I've got that softness in both legs, and I'm pushing into the bench as I go. Once I've found that neutral spine, I'll start my row. So arm straight, we're thinking of pulling that shoulder back in. We're locking through and driving the elbow back. On this one, I'm looking for that work through my lats. So we're thinking the side of the back here. As I row back, elbow back, dumbbell into my hip. Nice and steady through. Hopefully you've all got your quads engaged like we had in that bird dog as we do our 8 on this side. So keep that going, keep that pressure into your objects. And pulling elbow back, squeezing our scapula together as we drive up. Nice, last one. Good, so relax there, come up. Give the body a little shake around as we swap hands, and we'll go again. So as we say, one leg, that arm on, take a little step back with the other. Hinge yourself over with that bend through the knees, so we've got back, straight back, so bum stuck out a little bit. And then starting with that long arm, 3, we're driving the elbow up into the hip, gently back down. 2. Good. 3. So we're going for 8 here as well. So we've got that elbow drive up. Keeping our shoulders level, so we're not letting it drop. And really engage in our lats. As we go, we've got 2 more on this side. Nice, and last one. 3. Good. So that's a bit of upper body work. So we've used those lats. We're going to come back down to our lower body now. We're going to return back down to the mat, where we were in our warm-up. So bring yourself through onto your back. So again, we're going to come into another hinge movement. So we're looking at our glute bridge. So very similar to our RDL, we're looking at posterior chain working. So we'll focus a bit more into the gluteus maximus as we go. So we're going to lie down on our mat, bring in heels in towards the glutes as we go. You can bring these as close in as you are comfortable. Again, this will look a little bit different for everyone. So find that position that works for you. But your feet are about shoulder width apart, keeping that same distance between the knees. Relax the upper body. Arms come down by the side or over the chest. So from here, we're thinking the glutes are our main driver. We're going to squeeze the bum cheeks together, and you can see how that tilts the pelvis up and starts that rise off. So we push the hips up to the ceiling, looking for a lovely straight line, knees through hips to shoulders. My knees are still the same width apart as they were when I was down at the mat, and then I'll gently lower myself through. So count-wise, we are Going for 8 reps, about a 2-second rise, a second pause, 2 seconds down. If anyone is familiar with this movement and wants to increase the intensity, you can bring one of your weights, place that on the hips, and come through that same movement. So for rep number 3, we're driving up, squeeze, control back down. So say that focus is on that glute work, really thinking of driving those bum cheeks in together as we push the hips up to the ceiling. We come down nice and gently through the spine, feeling each vertebrae the same as we did in our cat-cow. Let's go one last one. Nice big rise, 3. Good, and relax there. If you do have that weight, gently bring it off and back to the floor, and you can bring yourself back up for a little breather. And grab a drink at any point if you wish, and then we're going to go for another upper body exercise down on the floor before we finish with one more lower. Well, we've gone back to standing. So you'll need both your weights for this one. We are coming for a floor press. So our floor press, we're looking at working our pecs, our triceps as we go through, and then just generally kind of the upper chest, upper back. We are going to be lying back down on the floor again, keeping our knees up, so feet flat on the floor. So we'll take that dumbbell, one in either hand. To start off the movement, say, get those feet planted, bring your dumbbells up onto your knees, or transfer onto your shoulders. So as you roll back, they're already in place. So from here, say, nice deep breath, roll yourself back and down to the floor. So we've got feet pressed still, those dumbbells up. To start off, we want to get them in a strong position. So we're going to bring them away from the body. So we're not lazing and rolling down. We're holding nice and strong, setting that tension. My elbows are about 45 degrees away from my body, so they're not tight in. We brought them slightly out, and the dumbbells are going to follow the same angle, so about a V shape through. From here, take a lovely deep breath in. Push your feet into the floor, push your lower back and your shoulders down into the mat, and we're going to drive those arms overhead. Gently back down, let the elbows tap, and again, push back up. So we're looking for that explosive power on the way up, tap, and push. Nice deep breath in as the arms come down. Breathe out as you drive the arms up. Again, we're going for 8 reps of these. Good, let's go 2 more. That's strong push every time. We've got the lower back, the shoulders still stuck down into our mat, using the feet to help. Good, bonus rep there for those that were counting. Bring the dumbbells in, drop them to the floor by your side, and gently bring yourself back up to seated. So as I say, we've got one more movement we're going to go through before we go into a cool down. So coming back up to your feet. And again, this time you just need one of your dumbbells. So make sure the other is safely out the way. So with that single dumbbell, we're going to come into a goblet squat today. So with our goblet squat, it's just how we hold the weight. We're going to bring, if you have a dumbbell, those hands under the top, wrap fingers round. And then you're going to bring that tight into the chest. So we're stood nice and tall, and say, holding that weight in as close as you can. If you are holding a can, a drinks bottle, same thing. Hug that into your chest. Keep it in nice and tight. You can do the same with a kettlebell if you have one available as well. So we did our squat in our warm-up. We're thinking that same positioning. Your feet are shoulder width apart, toes are slightly turned out, and we're thinking knees are pushing over the toes, shoulders back and standing up nice and tall throughout. So when you're ready, we're going to drop down into that squat. So pushing our knees forward, sinking bum straight down, and drive up. Again, back as straight as you can. So roll those shoulders back, pushing knees forwards, back nice and straight, and drive up. Bit like in that floor press, we are nice and slow as we come down, staying in control, driving up firm and strong. Going for rep number 4, and push 3. So we're halfway there, keeping that same steady tempo. I'm going to say trying to keep back nice and straight. So we're trying to avoid that push of the bum out. We're on our knees, remember, rather than that hip hinge. Knees forward, down, and push. Let's go one more. Good. And then nice and gently, going to have to do another squat to get that weight down safely and out the way. So that's our main body of our workout today. Hopefully you got a bit of sweat on while working through. We've used a fair few different groups of muscles of the body. So we do want to make sure we cool down and stretch through so you recover nice and easily. So we're going to start off with a quad stretch. We've used our quads especially in those squats at the end. So bring yourself to a wall. You can use that table or bench that you were using earlier for your row. Just make sure you got somewhere to help with our balance. Keeping that leg closer to your object on the floor. We're going to bring the other one up and behind. So holding on to the foot. If you've got trainers, you might find that loop or hooking into the back of the trainer is helpful, or onto the ankle. If this position isn't comfortable, you can't get hold of the foot, you can use a towel, so like your tea towel, wrap around the ankle and hold that up, and that will work just as well. While we're stood here, we're thinking of bringing the knees together at the front. Then you can push the hips forward, stand up nice and tall, and so use that wall for your balance. We're going to hold this again for about 30 seconds, and then we will swap over onto the other leg. So you're looking for that stretch down, the quad down the front of the leg, and say pushing those hips forward will increase that stretch for you. As we go through our mobility and that cool down, taking some lovely deep breaths to help bring your heart rate back down to your normal resting rate. Good. Nice, then release that one. Give it a little wiggle, give it a shake. You're going to turn around, do the same thing on that other side. So spin yourself around, getting that touch to the wall, bring the foot up behind, holding through to the foot, the trainer, the ankle, whatever works for you. Knees in line. And as you can see, pushing those hips forward, knee back to create the deepest stretch possible. What's a bonus here is holding that leg means you might get a lovely stretch through the shoulder and the top of the back as well, which will feel lovely after our rows we did. And again, about 30 seconds here. Good work, and release that one again. Give those legs a wiggle. We're going to go into a hamstring fold next. So where we did those hamstring sweeps in our warm-up, we're going to hold that stretch a little bit deeper, a little bit longer this time. So we're going to go shoulder width or narrow with the feet. You're welcome to find what angle is most comfortable for you. And then we are going to fold over from the hips. So we're keeping our legs nice and straight. As we go down, we're looking at reaching forward, drive those hands down the legs, and try and reach towards the floor. Obviously, everyone's hope is that one day they can touch their toes. This is going to help you get there. When you do reach as deep as you can today, we can relax the head and the shoulders so we roll over and we are hanging a bit like a rag doll. If you are nice and flexible and find those hands to the floor, feel free to hold onto your elbows instead to give yourself that little bit more room. And again, we're going to hang here for 30 seconds. As you go, so legs lovely and straight, so hopefully you get that deep stretch down the back of the hamstrings through. And say you reach over as far as you can today. That might look different every time you do this stretch. Hopefully the more you do it, the closer you'll get to that goal of touching the floor. Just go nice and gentle. And as ever, we're taking those lovely deep breaths. As you see, that inward breath brings me slightly out. That outward breath just lets me drop deeper and relax further into the stretch. We're going to move out of this stretch in a second. I want you to come out really slowly, nice and gently. We don't want that head rush feeling. So start off just by giving a gentle bend to the knees. Release the hands. And then we're going to roll through the spine. Very similar to that cat-cow feeling. So we're going through vertebra at a time. Leave the chin to the chest to roll up last. And when you get there, just roll out the shoulders. Let the breath out and wiggle the legs around. We've got one stretch left today. So we're going to come for our cross shoulder stretch. So we're going to bring one arm out, bring it across the body. The other arm will come up to support. And support can be anywhere from the wrist through to just above the elbow. but we're looking at bringing that arm as tight into the body as you can. So say, one arm straight and across, other arm up and pull that in. Finding that stretch anywhere through the top of the shoulder, round into the top of the back. You'll find what feels best for you today. And holding that in, hugging nice and tight. As we said at the start, our comments are open, so feel free to put a comment in there. We'll get back to you at the end. If you've got any questions about anything we've done today, pop something in there. Good, and release those arms. Give them a little bit of a swing. And coming across with the other arm. So again, straight arm across, straight out from the shoulder. Give that support to a nice hug in. So when we went through our strength exercise in the middle, we did everything for one set today, as we're just getting used to it, learning those movements and getting started. As you do increase in confidence, increase in strength, you can mix that up and bring yourself up to 3 sets of 8 for each exercise as you go through. But say, feel how your body does after today and build that intensity nice and slowly. Release that arm. Give a little shake out. And that's it. Well done today. Really well worked. And we'll see you next time.